I have yet to open that up. Welcome back to Western New York Tonight. I'm your host, Tammie Lee. Also welcome those listening on WLNF. I'm having way too much fun here with Jamie Shaner. I should be feeling very serious and needing organization. Maureen's still in the audience, and we all think should be better organized. So thanks, Maureen, for sticking out with us and listening in. Jamie Shaner, owner of Home Solutions of Western New York. Love having her on, helping us organize. If you missed the mail sorting, you're in for another treat, though, because we are not done yet. So what are we doing now?
So once we've opened to process the mail, and we have our things to do. So there's things that we have to file. There are some papers that we just need to keep. Our homeowner's insurance, our health insurance bill, certain things that just need to be kept. So the best way to keep it is in a filing system, whether it's a file cabinet, a file box, a file crate, whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be cumbersome and it doesn't have to be expensive. A box of green hanging files is not very expensive. And look at these little files for receipts and things. Aren't these the cute?
That is so cute.
Aren't they the cutest things?
Yes. I love that. It's so pretty, too.
So for us, my habit is with credit cards, anytime something gets charged, the receipts get dropped in here. When I get an email that says, your credit card bill is ready, I go online, because I don't want to get a paper bill, and I look at everything. I pull out my receipts. I make sure everything is okay, because if you don't look at your credit card bill against your charges, you'll never know if something fraudulent has happened. Once I know everything is okay, most of the receipts I throw in my shred basket, because anything that's consumable, gas, wine, meals, it's a lot of our credit cards.
We're hearing all of the secrets now.
I buy a lot of wine. You don't need to keep those receipts. So once I know that the charge is done and it's okay and the right amount, then the receipts can go.
Well, what about receipts though that you maybe use on a Schedule C? So you might say, okay, this was an expense for my business. You can have a special place for that.
Well, my business is a corporation. So, but yes, you would have anything that's a taxable receipt. You would have. So in our house, I have one file that says last year's tax return. It doesn't have a year, it just says last year's, and one says current year tax record. So anytime there's something that comes in the mail that I know our property taxes, whatever, I just drop it in the file that says current year tax records. When I'm ready to do our taxes, I pull one file out, and there it is.
So much easier.
It's so much easier. So making files, so I tell people, we tend to honor systems that are professionally labeled. So you can make labels, this is called a third cut, so 3 fit across.
Yes.
This is 5th cut, 5. You buy these sheets, feed them through your printer, and you don't have to fill a sheet. You can feed it through multiple times. So you make your labels so they're easy to read, so filing isn't quite as difficult. People will write with pencil on a manila folder and you can't read what it says.
Right.
So you make files that you can read.
And they look pretty and professional.
And they do, and we do tend to honor that sort of system better. I don't know why, and you can use colors. You can color code if you want, or you can use all the same, how you file, that's something I have to figure out with my clients. Do you like your little tab to the front of the folder or the back of the folder? Do you like everything left or right, or do you like them staggered?
Because people have preferences.
People do have preferences, so that you just sort of figure out what works for you, and if it doesn't work, you can change it. Nothing's written in stone.
And this isn't expensive. I'm just thinking, like, compared to buying a huge file cabinet and bringing that into your home, this is really achievable. It feels like it's
And you can
doable.
have one that's your everyday files and one that's more your archival files. For example, I don't have to go into our homeowner's insurance file very often, but I need to keep those papers. So I tend to, rather than file alphabetically, I tend to file prioritize. So the things I use the most are in the front. The things I use less are towards the back or in a second box.
Okay.
So you do this. However, you do occasionally have to thin out your files. So it's, again, that's the sort of thing I'll tell people. If there's a backlog, for example, if you've got a backlog of mail, you set a goal. I'm going to open and process today's mail, and I'm going to open and process 10 pieces of my backlog every day. So now you're staying up on today's mail and attacking the backlog 10 pieces at a time. It's very doable. I can't tell you how many clients I've worked with that spend hundreds of dollars a month paying late fees for bills. Not because they couldn't afford to pay them, because they just didn't find them and pay them in time.
That must be maddening for you.
Well, I
because
just
it's
say
like
to them,
so
you could have
frustrating.
why don't you just drive down the 290 and fling the money out the window? That's how much of a waste it is. I know their financial situation is such that they can afford to pay the bills. They're just living in paper pandemonium.
Right, right.
So, getting things caught up is a money saver for sure, and a time saver at the very least, because if you can find what you want when you want it, you go to sell your car, where's the title? Well, it should be as simple as, where do you keep the title to your car? It shouldn't be a scavenger hunt throughout the house.
Right, but I bet it is for many.
For lots of people, it is.
Actually, I'm trying to think where the title. I'm not even going to go there. I'm sure I know where it is. I have a file cabinet, but it needs to be thinned. I have stuff in there
So again, the end of the year, the beginning of the year is sort of a good time for clean slate. So maybe you say every day, I'm gonna grab the first 5 files in my file cabinet, and I'm just gonna go through them. Things like medical, we get explanation of benefits, EOBs. Unless you're having a serious issue, if you're basically a healthy person, those EOBs, I tell people keep them for a year, but you don't do anything with them. If you look at them and there's no dispute, there's nothing going on, you can get rid of them. Utility bills, I have a file labeled utilities. I have one thing from the gas company, one the electric company, one from each, so that in an emergency, if I had to call them or if I had to know my account number, I can just pull out one file and it's there. But all my bills are set up. I get them electronically and they're paid automatically, because it's not an arbitrary thing. The gas company doesn't say, hey Jamie, how much do you want to pay on your gas bill this month? They say, give us all the money you owe us or we're going to shut off your gas.
Right, there's no
so it's
ambiguity.
automatic, so I don't have to pay that bill and I don't have to open a piece of mail. So as much as I can automate, I automate, because it saves me time, saves me energy, and it saves me money.
Right, and you can always double check on it at any
I look
point.
at them, I can see them online,
So how do you organize that time into your daily activities or weekly activities? I mean, you just spend time, like you have a time slot that says, I'm going to look at all my bills electronically. So for some people that might be even more daunting. Like paper may be easier, right?
It could be.
I don't know.
I'm
Depends.
a fairly computer literate person, so I look at my daily emails daily. When somebody says to me, I've got 1,000 emails in my inbox, I silently gasp.
Do you like close that account down and open a new one? How do you?
I know people that do that.
But what do you do if somebody says, I need my life organized, Jamie, and my Yahoo email is out of control? How do you even start? Because it's not even a matter of like 10 a day.
Right. Well, I do have somebody that I'm working with right now, and that's basically what it is. And I don't know. Sometimes, I say I'm an old dog. I can learn new tricks, but for some people, it's not quite as easy. So I'm working with an old dog, not wanting to learn new tricks. So, paying the minimum balance on credit card bills.
Yes.
When you're 80 years old, you'll be long dead before that bill's ever paid off.
Right. And then there's a money incentive there, but with the email, there's almost no benefit to it.
Right.
I mean, I part of the email organization is a whole other conversation, but my guess is that you would need to unsubscribe. It would have to partially
and there
unsubscribe.
are services for that. So I use it's a free service. It's called Unroll. It's called Unroll Me, I think. So there are certain emails that I don't need to read every day, but I don't want to unsubscribe from. So I get one email from them, and it might have 20 emails in it. So it's from AARP and Office Depot and Raymore and Flanagan or whatever. So if I'm not interested, if I'm not looking to buy anything, then I can just delete that Unroll Me email. But I can also say to them, you know what? I don't buy from that anymore. So I can tell them to unsubscribe me, and they unsubscribe me. It's a free service.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm writing this down. Unroll Me?
I think it's unroll.me.
Are you writing that down? Did you already know about that? Unrollme.com? All right, I'm going to be ahead of you on that one.
But it really is handy.
That's a great thing.
And then there's Paper Karma, which I do believe now they charge a little bit, but there's another one where they would eliminate like magazine
Clutter.
Subscriptions, the stuff that comes in the mail that you don't want. When my dad passed, he was just giving little donations to 1,000 little charities, and so then with my mom, all the mail coming in. Well, now that I'm taking over, it's like, oh yeah, we're done with this.
Right.
So just trying to eliminate all of that stuff. Old people are really targeted by unscrupulous, I'll say charities and put it in air quotes, because most of them I don't think were particularly legitimate. So
So again, decluttering and uncluttering. And I know next time you come in, we're going to be doing downsizing tips and how to kind of work from big houses to smaller living, which we're all trying to end up getting to. But right now, this is a small chunk and doable. People watching tonight might be thinking, I want to do this, but I need help. How much time would they need to budget kind of with you? And I know everybody's different, to be able to organize their office, their home space.
It depends on their situation, how much of a backlog, how set are they in their ways, and how willing are they. Some people want it to be different, but they don't want to change.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Right, something has to change. Something has to change. You can't. Another thing that tends to sort of bog people down is when they get greeting cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, and they save them all. And so, you know, I'll pick up a Christmas card and I'll open it up and it'll say, "Dear Joe Blow, love, Susie Q." Like there's nothing particularly awesome about this card. You got it, you saw it. Thank you, Susie Q.
Shred or recycle, it's up to you.
Put it in a recycle bin. Like, what do you know? But people, I mean, I have somebody who, she's probably got 4 totes like this of old cards, and they're not, if they were from her deceased husband and they had all kind, you know, like, oh my God, you're the most awesome wife in the history of the universe. Okay, I have a bin under my bed.
Jamie would let you keep one of those. You picked a favorite, right?
Right. Well, I have the ones that are really meaningful. You know, little notes that the boys wrote when they were little, or cards from Dick that were very heartfelt. But if it's just that said, you know, "Dear Jamie loves," you know, whoever.
Good point to start. Don't get too much more emotional.
Thank you.
We'll say one from Dick and that's it. We're out of time, but thank you so much for coming in. Again, your website?
www.homesolutionswny.com.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks.
We'll see you again in March. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care. Be well.